श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதார்ய கவிதார்க்கிககேசரி வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ஹ்ருதி. ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்கியபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வே.
Hanuman understood the capacity of Sita, that she can pardon the demonesses who tortured her for a few months. And so now you have the Sundarakanda 58 Sarga 90th verse, which we saw earlier. Tatassa Hrimati Bala Pabhartur Vijay Harshita Avochad Yadi Tat Tathyam Bhaveyam Sharanam Hiva. She, of course, it is not, of course, a condition, precondition to Sharanagati. But because she became very happy on hearing the success or the victory of Rama over Ravana, then she said, definitely you will have shelter from me. So I will be the protector for all of you. So she addressed the demonesses like that. Pirati Aruli Cheda Rakshabhara Svikara Vakyate Anuvadittu Katina. Now, as we understand from these words of Sita, namely, in Abhaya Pradanam also, we must have some conditions imposed on the surrendering. A devotee must follow some steps to make a total surrender. That is very important. If I say, I don't know anything about these steps, I don't know what karpanyam is, akinchanyam is, I don't know what helplessness is, I don't know pratikulya varjanam, I don't know how to avoid the don'ts from the scriptures, I don't know how to do from the scriptures, anukulya sankalpaha, I don't know to choose the protector, goptrutva varanam, rakshishyati iti mahavishasa, I don't have faith, total faith in the protector. Suppose if you skip all these steps, so what will happen? Meaning, even then, a creature, a jantu, as we say in Sanskrit, a creature, a living being which does not have any mind to read, judge, understand the steps of total surrender, still it is given moksha, that is no doubt. But if these steps are followed, the moksha is at hand. The emancipation is ready. And therefore, so that is the difference between the steps followed by some people and steps not followed by some people. And of course, Sita is not to be mistaken as, Sita Devi is not to be mistaken as a lady imposing a condition of the surrendering, namely, only when she is happy she will protect, when she is unhappy. This is very natural because Lord Shivanarayana, the name itself includes Mahalakshmi, Sri Mannarayana. If he is pleased, he will give us the fruit quickly. That is understood. Everybody, including us, when we are happy, we will be helpful to others. If we are not happy with a person, we are not ready to extend any assistance. 44. So let us. So unconditional surrender also will attract unconditional fruit. That is also there. So please remember this also. Pratyaruli Cheda Rakshabhara Svikara Vakyate Anuvadittu Katina. Valmiki, the great author, the first poet of the first poetry, namely Ramayanam, he translated or imitated or repeated Rakshabhara Svikara Vakyam. So this is the next one which we can understand before. I mean, after we saw the previous one. Bhaveyam Sharanam Hi Vaha, we saw the previous verse. Yadi, what you said is Tathyam. Yadi Tat Tathyam, if it is true, then I will be the shelter for you. That's what she said. Now, Rakshabhara Svikara Vakyam. Now, she now gives another statement so that the blames, for example, when I say, when she is happy, she is ready to give protection. When she is not happy, she is not ready to give protection. So this kind of doubt is cleared here. So Raksha Bhara Svikara Vakya. Raksha, protection. Bhara, responsibility. Svikara, Vakyam. So this is the Vakyam now, sentence that we see in the Pinbu, later, Saparadhigalana Rakshasigali Patra, in order to kill all the demonesses, because they committed the sin of torturing Sita. Ramadutan Shirina Vidattu. Ramaduta, Hanuman, the messenger, some call him spy, the ambassador, became very angry. Shirina Vidattu. He became very furious. He wanted immediate permission from Sita to kill all of them. Then she said, Papanam va Shubhanam va Vadharhanam Plavangame Karyam Karunam Aryena Nakaschit Na Aparadhyati. So she tried to subside, appease his anger, make his anger subside. And therefore she said, Papanam va Shubhanam va. Whether they are sinners or good people. Vadharhanam Plavangama, they are not to be killed. Hey, oh monkey, Plavangama. Plavangama is a name, word for monkey. Because it jumps from one branch to another in a tree. Plavate, we say, Plavate, therefore Plavangamaha. We have got different spellings of these words. Plavagaha, Plavangaha, Plavangamaha. All these three words give us the meaning monkey. So each letter is increasing. Plavagaha, Plavangaha, Plavangamaha. So Vadharhanam Plavangama, so they are unfit to be killed. Why? Karyam Karunam Aryena. Aryena. Aryaha, generally meaning a decent person, gentleman, we say, Aryaha. Educated man is called Aryaha. And this Arya refers to the husband of Sita, namely Sri Rama. So Karunam Aryena Karyam. Karunam Karyam. So he has to take pity on these demonesses. And the general proverb by Sita is Na kaschit na aparadhyati. In the world, there is no one above board. There is no one who has not committed any mistake. There is no non-guilty person anywhere. All people commit mistakes. So, Ityadigalale, by these words, Avan Shitratte Artri, he made him, she made him calm. Avan Shitratte Artri, Pirati, Rakshasigalai Than Erittu Kondu Rakshittabadi Sonnar. So, without waiting for, though she said Rama should take pity on them, so she did not wait for Rama's approval to release them free. She didn't want to punish them, punish the demonesses, and therefore she said, what we understand from Valmiki's statement is, Rakshasigalai Than Erittu Kondu Rakshittabadi Sonnar. So she herself took over the responsibility on herself to protect the demonesses. இவ்விருத்தாந்தத்தை அனுசந்தித்த பட்டர் ராமகோஷ்டிக்கும் ஆகாத நமக்கு பிராட்டியுடைய க்ஷமை ஒழிய தஞ்சமில்லை என்னுமிடத்தை. Now this episode has been described in Gunaratana Kosham of Sri Parashara Bhatta, who was a priest in the temple of Ranganatha in Srirangam here, and he referred to this episode. ராமகோஷ்டிக்கும் ஆகாத தமக்கு பிராட்டியுடைய க்ஷமையொழிய தஞ்சமில்லை என்னுமிடத்தை. If we err against Lord Sriman Narayana, we can escape by the blessings of the goddess Mahalakshmi. But if we commit any fraud against Mahalakshmi, there is no way out. So this is the essence of this verse. And now we read the verse here. Matar Maithili Rakshasistvayi Tatheva Ardra Paradhastvaya Rakshantya Pavanatmajat Laghutara Ramasya Goshtikrita Kakam Tamcha Vibhishanam Sharanam Iti Ukti Kshamau Rakshataha Sanaha Sandra Mahagasaha Sukhayatu Shantihi Tava Akasmiki. So this is the beautiful verse from Parashara Bhatta's Sri Gunaratana Kosha. Just one minute of his history. Parashara Bhatta, and he was brought up in the sanctum sanctorum of Sri Ranganatha. When he was a small child, he was sleeping with the what we call ropes and clothes, what we call in Tamil Tuli, in between the what we call Thirumanathoon, the pillar of marriage pillar. And there are 4 in the Sannidhi. So hammock, okay, hammock, right. And Ranganatha took care of him as his own child. And therefore, again, Parashara Bhatta was talking to Ranganatha very freely. And you know the famous episode where he talked when he took Mohini Avatara just before the day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi. And Parashara Bhatta was so close to him. And he praised Mahalakshmi in the presence of, in the sanctum sanctorum of Ranganatha. Now he addresses Sita Devi. O Mother Maithili, Mataha Maithili, O Mother Maithili. So what did you do? Rakshasihi, the demonesses, Ardra Paradhaha, they did commit some blunder. They were all torturing you. Toya, by you, what did you do? Rakshantya, you protected them. You protected them from whom? Pavanatmajat, from the wind's son. Pavana wind, Atmajaha's son, S-O-N. Pavanatmajat from the wind's son, namely Hanuman, Maruti. Then by your action, what did you do? You have excelled the quality of Rama. Rama has become inferior in quality because your grace is better than his grace. Your compassion is more than his compassion. Your pity is more than his pity. Your sympathy is more than his sympathy. Laghutara Ramasya Goshti Krita. Ramasya Goshti. Ramasya Goshti in the sense, if somebody imitating Rama offers protection to a surrendery, then he is a member of the group of Rama, Ramasya Goshti. And Sita excelled, surpassed the quality of Rama, and therefore Laghutara Ramasya Goshti Krita. Parajara Bhatta is very frank, straightforward. And I told you earlier, Kambanattalvar in Kambaramayanam, in Tamil Ramayanam, also refers to the attitude of Rama in the absence of Sita in the two episodes like Vali and the crow. Vali, the elder brother of Sugriva, and the crow. The crow, according to Parasara Bhatta, Kakam, Tancha Vibhishanam. So we can take it as the crow came and fell at the feet of Rama and Sita. Sharanam, Kakam Sharanam iti Ukti Kshamau. Both of them came to surrender to Rama, namely the crow and Vibhishana, the younger brother of Ravana. And therefore Rama protected them, Rakshataha. Since they appealed to Rama to give them fearlessness, Rama gave them protection. But whereas, O Mother Maithili, Sa Nasandra Mahagasaha. So because we are committing great sins, Mahapatakam we say. Even a theft is called Mahapatakam, the Chauryam. So Naha, our, O you are, Sandra Mahana Mahagasaha. So we are continuously committing a lot of frauds. So Mahagasaha, Agasaha, Agasaha, lot of sins have been committed continuously by us. And you are making us protected. We are safe now because your patience, Shantihi, Tava Akasmiki. All of a sudden, your patience is to be sought for, and it makes us happy. Sukhayatu. It should may your patience make us happy. May your patience make us happy. May your forgiving tendency make us happy. But it is, how can you say that it is not purposeful, akasmiki. It's a sudden boon, the favor that we got. Suddenly you are patient, and then you are able to make us happy in spite of our mistakes. So number one, we saw this word in the page in the text. Rakshabhara Srikara Vakya. Rakshikam Bharati Etrukondu Sonna Vakyam. What Sita said was Papanam va Shubhanam va Vadharhanam Plavangame. Karyam Karunyamaryena Nakaschin Naparadhyati. Yuddha Kanda, 116th canto, 45th verse. So he is telling the meaning is in Tamil. Vanara Shrestha, O best monkey, Papam Seidavarhalai Rikattam. those who have committed sins. அல்லது or புண்ணியம் செய்தவர்களாய் இருக்கட்டும். They might have done a lot of meritorious acts. அவர்கள் தண்டிக்கத்தக்கவர்களானாலும், even though they are fit to be punished, சரணமடைந்தால், if they surrender, பெருந்தன்மையுடையவர்கள், people who are broad-minded, like my husband Rama, அவரிடம் இறங்கி ரட்சிப்பார்கள். The people will, the protectors will make them safe. உலகில் அபராதம் செய்யாதவர்களே கிடையாதல்லவா. ந கஷ்டின் நாபராத்யதி. There is no one in the world who has not committed a single mistake. So this is the essence of Abhaya Pradanam. So even an enemy must be pardoned. Even those who tortured us, who gave trouble to us, should be forgiven. Now this is what we get from Tirukkural. Inna seydare oruttal avar naana nannayam seydu vidal. It's a very beautiful Tirukkural of Thiruvalluvar. So if you want to punish a person who gave you trouble, it is better that you help him a lot. So then he will be put to shame. He will become shameful after receiving the help, though earlier he troubled you. Inna seydare oruttal. How to punish people who gave you harm? That is, avar naana nannayam seydu vidal. Please do good to them so that they will become shameful. So this is the beauty in this Abhaya Pradana Saram. And we go to page 45. Here, the essence is given here. So, ஆக இப்படி 6 காண்டத்திலும், because we are not going to read the Uttarakanda, the 7th chapter of Ramayana. So, இப்படி 6 காண்டத்திலும் சரணாகதி தர்மமே அஞ்சுருவாணியாய் கோர்க்கப்பட்டது. We say in English also, the continuity of the thread of the work, the spirit of the work, starts from the first chapter, Balakandam, up to Yuddhakandam. We say a nail which cannot be removed joins all the chapters. So Anjurvani will be like what we call, as we say, threads, staples, or combine the pages, papers. Today there are many ways of doing it. We say spiral binding. So that is called Anjurvani here. Sharanagati dharmame Anjurvani. The essence of all the 6 kandas, 6 chapters of Ramayana is only the protection of the surrenderies. So we call Ramayana as Sharanagati Shastra. Basically, without concentrating on the incidents of Ramayana, we have got a lot of questions, ramifications, doubts, and then we suspicions over the incidents of Ramayana. But the spirit of Ramayana, the Srimad Ramayana, is Sharanagati Dharma. The following the principles of total surrender, both by the protector and by the surrenderee. So this Tamil transliteration of the. So now again the meaning in Tamil is there. Taye, O mother, Mithilai Chelviye, the queen of Mithila, நீ குணங்களால் ராமனுக்கு மேற்பட்டவள். You are better than Rama in qualities. மூவலகம் சுற்றி வேறு ரட்சகர் இல்லாமல், having roamed all the 3 worlds and without finding a protector, போக்கற்று வந்து விழுந்த காகத்தையும், being shelterless. The crow fell down. Manevi Putran Rajyam Ellavathiyum Vittu, having deserted the family, the kingdom, the family includes son, children, and wife. வந்து எல்லாவற்றையும் விட்டு ராமனை சரணமடைகிறேன் என்று வந்த விபீஷணனையும் Vibhishana came to surrender Rama. Raman Rakshittar. Lord Sri Rama protected them. Niyo, but you, Ravan irappadarku mun irundadu pola. Before Ravana died, the Demonesses tortured Sita. Avan iranda pinbum, even after his death, unnai tunburithina rakshasigalai. Because of the habit, the Demonesses continued to torture Sita even after the death of Ravana. So, avan iranda pinbum unnai tunburithina rakshasigalai. Kondru vidugiren endru Sirina Marutiyidamirundi rakshittai. You protected the Demonesses from the anger of Hanuman. ஆதலால் பிராத்திகூலத்தை விட்டாரை ரட்சிக்கும் ராமனை விட Rama protected people who gave up their faults and then surrendered. So Pratikulya Varjanam, they did it. That step they went through. Both the crow and Vibhishana. Whereas Pratikulam செய்து கொண்டிருக்கும் அவரை ரட்சிக்கும் நீயே சிறந்தவள். Those who are still doing harm have been forgiven by you, pardoned by you. So you are better than Rama. அப்பேற்பட்ட in such a way, உன்னுடைய நிர்ஹேதுக்கமான கருணையே, you are showing pity without any reason, cause, basically, மகாபாபிகளான எங்களை ரட்சித்து சுகிகளாக செய்ய வேண்டும். As we are great sinners, grave sinners, you must make us happy by removing these sins, destroying our sins, and give protection to us so that we will be safe and happy. In 46, Uttara Sri Ramayanathilum, now in the 7th chapter, Uttara Sri Ramayanathilum, Ravanan Pattanmar Kalathile, with regard to the ancestors of Ravana, and during the time of the ancestors of Ravana, Vishnu Avatara Thanana Sarveshwaran, Sharanagatarana Devarale Rakshippadarkaha, Thiruvullam Patti, Rakshasarode Purudavalavile, earlier to Balakanda, of course, frequently the gods always appeal to Sriman Narayana for protection from the hands of demons. And therefore, so because all gods surrendered to him, then he promised them protection. Sriman Narayana promised them protection. And he started fighting with the demons. Pushalile kettu, Parangmukharai Lankei Kurittu. So all the demons fled away, ran away from the battlefield when Vishnu came to fight with them. So they became indifferent. They actually Puramudhittu Odinavan Tamil. So they ran back to Sri Lanka. Palayanam Pandigara Rakshasare Thodandu, Paramukharai Lankei Kurittu Palayanam, running away, Pandigara Rakshasare Pin Thodandu, continuously following the demons who reached Sri Lanka for protection from the hands of Ravana. Sharga Mudaita Saramare Pol, Saramare Kundru. Now, the Sharga Mudaita Saramare is the 4th Pashuram of Tirupavai. We understand about prayer of Goda Devi to clouds, Varuna Bhagavan, the rain god, to give them copious shower of rain, while for the 12 years period, the Gokulam was in what we call drought, D-R-O-U-G-H-T. And therefore, Panjam is a famine. It was a 12-year famine and it was to be solved. And Goda Devi prayed to the rain god to give them a sufficient rain. So in that, how to shower, how to rain water. So Sharanga Mudaita Saramare. As the arrows come out very fast out of the bow called Sharangam of Sriman Narayana, the arrows came out of this bow to kill the demonesses. Kondru Shurayada Kanda. So all the demons were being killed by Mahavishnu. And then Malyavan Purindu. So Malyavan was the ancestor of Ravana. And he asked a pertinent question to Mahavishnu. Odipogar engalai kollugai Chatra Dharma Viruddhamandro. It's a rule of the war that a person who is running away should not be hit at the back by the opponent. So Odipogar engalai kollugai, when we are running, Chatra Dharma Viruddhamandro, you are trying to kill us. And is it not out of propriety of the rules of war? So Dharma Maryadar Shayyamatai, Dharma Jnanani Shayyan Irkaraden, in the Artramayale. He asked the question, if people who do not know the rules of war, they may do this way. That is killing people who are running away. But you know Dharma, Dharma Jnanani. Why do you do this? Why do you commit this mistake? In the Artramayale, when he was complaining, when he was lamenting, Narayana na janishe chatram dharmam sanatanam ayuddha manaso bhagnan yosman hamsi yatha itaraha. He is saying this. Hey Narayana, O Sriman Narayana, na janishe, don't you know? Don't you know na janishe? Chatram dharmam sanatanam. The royal warfare rules. Chatram dharmam sanatanam. They are all permanent rules of war. Ayuddha manaso bhagnan. We are not intending to fight with you. We don't like to fight with you. Ayuddha manasaha. Our minds are not ready to fight with you. Bhagnan. We are already suffering. Yaha, who, asman hamsi yatha itara. As though you do not know any rules of war, you are trying to kill us, act upon us violently. Asman hamsi, you are killing us. Vishnu avatarastha, Vishnu engira avatara rupathil irunda. When he was fighting, Palayanam is running away. And Uttarakanda, 8th canto, 3rd verse, Malyavan said, Hey Narayana, for a long time, Kshatriyargal anushthittu varum dharmati ni ariyayo. Don't you know the king's way of waging war? Yuddham seyya ishtamillammal bayandu odum engalai. Since we are running away from the battlefield because we are cowards, Vivekamattavani pola thodandu kollugirai. You have no discrimination power. You are killing us. So this was the statement by Malyavan to Sriman Narayana. So here we'll go to 47. It's very easy to pass on. And we saw this point, the idea already, namely, even when one does not surrender, if he runs away from the protector, he must not be killed, he must be given safety. That is the point that we understand. When Malyavan complained against Sriman Narayana, Sarveshwaran Nam Kshatriya Ragilandro Kshatriya Dharma Manushtipat. So you said that we belong to the royal family. I am not belonging to royal family. If I am a royal person, then member of a royal family, then I will follow the rules. Nammai Narayanan endru nee sonnabadi, because you called me Narayana, Nam, I, Niyantruvadigalale Sarva Vilakshanarahiyal. For any common dharma, that is the propriety of action, I am responsible to set it right. So Narayana Dharmamana Sharanagata Rakshanam Anushtikiro. So what is my stand here is, because the gods came to surrender into my feet, surrender at my feet, and therefore we are protecting them, and in the process you are being killed. So in order to give them protection, you demons must be killed. என்று அபிப்பிராயம் கொண்டு, with this opinion, யுஷ்மத்தோ பயபீதானாம் தேவானாம் வை மயா அபயம் ராட்சச உற்சாதனம் தத்தம் தத் ஏதத் அனுபால்யதே பிராணைஹி அபி பிரியம் காரியம் தேவானாம் ஹி சதா மயா சஹா அகம் வோ நிகனிஷ்யாமி ரசாதல கதானபி. When Malyavan complained against Sriman Narayana threatened him more and more now. The problem for the gods is they are afraid of the demons. Yushmatto, because of you, from you, Bhayabhitanam Devanam, so already fearing gods, why Maya Abhayam? Truly, I was giving protection. So protection was given by me. And what I told them was, Rakshasotsadanam Dattam. I said the demons will be removed. I promised them. Therefore, Tatu Etatu Anupalyate. Therefore, I am keeping up the promise. I am carrying out the promise. Pranaihi api priyam karyam. I must give up my own life if it has to be given in the protection of the gods. I must like to give up my life if it is necessary. Pranaihi api priyam karyam. My life is not so much dear to me as the gods are dear to me. Devanam hi sada maya. I must always try to protect the gods. Therefore, saha aham, such a person I am, wo nihanishya, will kill you all. Even if you hide yourself in the bottommost part of the world. Rasatala gatanam. Rasatala is one of the 7 regions of the netherworld. And therefore, even if you hide yourself, disappear from my view by going to the nook and corner of this universe, I will pick you up and kill you. So, Rakshasa, O demon, Malyavan is addressed by Rama. Ungalal, rather Shivan Narayana. Ungalal himsikkapattu bayanda devathegalukku. Because you gave trouble and the gods were afraid. Ungalai kolvadaha, I promised them that demons will be killed. Abhayam koduthirukkireen. I assured safety. Adai ippodu niraivetruகிறேன். I am just carrying out that promise. Ennuyirai koduthavathu, even giving up my life, sacrificing my soul. தேவதைகளின் காரியத்தை எப்போதும் நாம் செய்ய வேண்டும். I must perform the action of protection to the gods. Ever, forever. ஆகையால், therefore, ரசாதல லோகத்தில் ஓடி ஒளிந்தாலும், even if you hide yourself in the bottom world, உங்களை தொடர்ந்து கொள்வேன். I will kill you all of you. So 48. நாம் தேவர்களுக்கு பண்ணின அபய பிரதானத்தாலே பசுக்களுக்காக புலிகளை தொடர்ந்து கொல்லும் கணக்கிலே உங்களை கொல்லுகிறோம் என்று அருளி செய்த பாசுரத்தாலே. This is an example, parallel. In order to save the cows, the tigers must be killed. Since I gave protection to the gods, so பசுக்களுக்காக, for the what do you call innocent people, the violent people should be killed. பசுக்களுக்காக புலிகளை தொடர்ந்து கொல்லும் கணக்கிலே உங்களை கொல்லுகிறோம். So I am trying to destroy the demons because in order to save the cows like gods, the tiger like demons must be killed. So மற்றுமுள்ள க்ஷத்ரிய தர்மாதிகளிலும் காட்டில் சரணாகத ரக்ஷண தர்மமே பெருமாளுக்கு அனுபாலனீயம் என்னும் இடத்தை ஸ்தாபித்தான். Here you please recall the words of Sita when she said, actually when Rama was fighting with the demons, Kara, Doshana, Tirishiras, as well as killing Kabandha, Viradha, so many demons in the forest, she was asking the question that why do you harm the demons when they do not give any trouble to you personally? And Rama said, because the sages came and surrendered to me to protect them from many demons, I started killing demons. So he showed in Ramayana that in his forest life, he had to kill so many demons because to follow the polity of the total surrender, that the promise given in order to fulfill the promise given to the sages in the forest, anupanaliyam, it must be taken care of. Sharanagati dharma must be followed very strictly. என்னுமிடத்தை ஸ்தாபித்தான் வால்மீகி. வால்மீகி said this. வாலியுடைய சோத்தியத்திற்கும் இவ்வுத்தரத்தையே திருவுள்ளம் பற்றி Vali argued with Rama. Why did he kill him? So Gambhiramaha Perumal Aruli Cheda. The answer to the question of Vali was amply given by Rama. There are so many facets of Vali asking Rama the questions. The problem the question by Tara was Rama did not appear before Vali and kill him. Before killing him, he did not appear before Vali. That's the problem created by Tara. But the answer is in the next few sentences. Munbu Saparadharana Maharaj. So now why Vali was punished. Now don't think of the incident as Rama hid himself behind the tree and therefore Vali could not see him and Rama sent an arrow. The arrow killed Vali. Please remember, the Kishkinda is a kingdom with a lot of forests, lot of trees. And Sugriva, of course, surrendered to Rama and then he went to fight with Vali. First time when Vali and Sugriva started fighting, Rama did not send arrow. And after Vali was about to win over Sugriva, because Vali, as an elder brother, he was stronger than Sugriva. Sugriva had to run away from Vali. He came back to Rama and then accused him that why did you not kill my elder brother Vali? He said, just for, it's all Leela, sport. So I couldn't identify because of your brotherhood. So who is Vali and who Vali is and who Sugriva is? There was so much resemblance. I could not recognize the elder brother and the younger brother, and therefore I didn't send an arrow. I didn't kill him. Second time, no, the garland was adorning the neck of Sugriva, and then Vali fought with him. So by the difference of garland on the neck, Vali was identified and was killed. Now before Vali was killed, the question by Sugriva to Rama was, why did you not kill him? And the answer is, in order to punish Sugriva for the fault committed by usurping the kingdom of Vali. You know the background. He stopped with a big stone. He rather the entrance of the cave where Vali went to fight with a demon called Dundubi, thinking that many days have passed and blood came out of the blood as the river came out of the cave. Sugriva thought Dundubi won over Vali, and therefore Vali was killed, and he stopped the entrance by a big stone. The Guhai valiya adachuttan. So what happened later? Of course, Vali came out by pushing off the stone, and Sugriva did that mistake, and he anointed himself as king. And as usual, Tara became his life partner, and so on. And this is, of course, they say monkey's way of behavior. Now, this mistake was committed by Sugriva, and therefore, initially Rama did not kill Vali. In the second time war between Vali and Sugriva, Vali was killed. But the problem was Vali did not see Rama, not because he hid himself, Rama hid himself, but because there were so many trees and Vali was concentrating on the fight with his younger brother. And therefore he did not notice. And the punishment given to Vali from a distance by Rama is what now we are reading now. So, Munbu Saparadharana Maharajan, when Maharaja Sugriva was guilty of committing the mistake of becoming a king, usurping the kingdom of his elder brother Vali, Anutaptarai, he regretted his action. Sharanagatarah, he came for protection from Rama. Avarai nee nalindaya ahyal, Rama punished him for some time by allowing him to experience the prowess of Vali. Ni dandyanahayalum, since Vali was fit to be punished. Why Vali was fit to be punished? This is where we have the essence of Vali episode, namely, Sugriva, though he did the mistake of usurping the kingdom of Vali, fell at the feet of Vali. Sugriva fell at the feet of Vali. So that means he surrendered to Vali. So what should Vali have done? Vali should have pardoned him, permitted him to be with him, and so on. But Vali was the king. There's no doubt. Sugriva must have been allowed to live happily in his kingdom. After all, his younger brother, and he fell at the feet. Vali must have followed the rules of total surrender as a protector. And therefore, he failed. Vali failed according to the principle followed by Rama, Vali failed miserably, and therefore he is punishable. And again, Sugriva surrendered to Rama. Had Vali surrendered to Rama, then Rama would have protected him. So Maharajare Rakshikai, to protect Sugriva, Namakku Paramahayalum. That is my foremost aim. And therefore, Unnai Niraharitvam. Therefore, I stood at a distance and killed you. So this is the statement. Unnai Niraharitvam endru Tatparyam. This is the essence. Now, again, the question, Vali made a lot of questions to Rama, and you will find the star, the Sukshmaha Paramadurneyaha Satam Dharmaha Plavangama. Rama addresses Vali. Oh monkey, you don't understand the rules of propriety followed by good people because it is not easily understood. It is subtle. Sukshmaha. The dharma is subtle. The rules of war also are subtle. Paramadurneyaha. It is very, very difficult to understand. And as a monkey, you will not understand. And therefore, please note that I rejected you. I killed you. That's what Satam Dharma Plavangama. Now, Vali asked many questions, I told you. The answers are not convincing when we read as readers of Ramayana. Again, I stress the point. Rama did not hide himself behind the trees. He stood at a distance. He was not identified. He was not recognized. His presence was not recognized by Vali. That is the beauty here. And therefore, so you look at the footnote, Sukshmaha Paramadurneyaha. Same thing. So, hey Vanara, oh monkey, oh Vali, Dharmam என்பது மிகவும் சூக்ஷ்மமானது. It is highly subtle. சாதுக்களாலும் சுலபமாக அறியக்கூடியதல்ல. Even good people cannot understand this kind of incident. But it is in some other not Mahabharatam original, but somewhere else. Bhima and Hanuman. Hanuman, of course, we understand Chiranjeevi. So Bhima identifies Hanuman because both are Vayuputras. In Mahabharata, you find Bhima and Hanuman meet each other.
Okay.
So many.
Okay.
Ashwathama Balirvyasaha Hanumancha Vibhishanaha Kripa Parashuramascha Saptaite Chiranjeevinaha. These 7 people are long living persons.
Amanujataya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimad Venkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunasaline Srimate Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Shirondu Thupul Thiruvenkadamudayan Parundrach Sonna Pazhamozhiyul Orundu Thane Amayado Tharaniyil Vazhvarkku Vanerap Pomalavam Vazhvu.
Thank you so much, Ji. Dhanyavad Ji. Just to tell you all of us, there are so many knots, K-N-O-T-S, in the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, which we cannot undo. Rather, we cannot, there are so many incidents in Ramayana and Mahabharata which we cannot understand completely. That's the problem. Inscrutable are the ways of God.
One more thing I want to add, because I have listened to some Krishna Premi Anna's Upanyasam, where he is supposed to say that Rama, why he has hide himself before killing Vali? You see that when Rama appeared before Vali, he used to surrender himself. He will surrender himself to Rama. If he is not surrendering, what he will do? He will fight against Rama, not himself first. He will send all the Vanaras and every. So he has to. Rama has to fight with the Vanaras. Who is going to help in Sita's Sitama
Search.
this thing?
Search.
Yeah,
Search.
search. So that is what he said that அவருடைய ஹிருதய பிரமாணம் என்னுடைய ஹிருதய பிரமாணம் இருக்கு நான் ஏன் அடிச்சேங்கிறத அவர் சொல்லிட்டார் அப்படிங்கிறதையும் சொன்னார் அவர். So otherwise Wali will fight against him before he himself comes. He will send all the Vanaras and they will be killed. So to avoid this also Rama has done it.
Right. That is one angle. Another angle, when generally, as you said, Vali or anybody else would surrender to Rama because if Rama is identified as God, as an incarnation. That is one point. Good point from Krishna Premi Swami. Number two is, the second point, of course, is also valid because our monkeys are needed to search for Sita. Vali also asked this question. Had you approached me for help for finding out Sita, if you know certainly that Sita was abducted by Ravana, I would have made Ravana hand over Sita to you. Ravana is, after all, my slave. And it is said jocularly, humorously, that Ravana wanted to have appointment with Vali. He came to Vali's place. Vali did not give him the interview. So he got himself attached to his tail. Ravana, with the 10 heads, got attached to his Vali's tail as a monkey. And then Vali performed Sandhya Vandana in all the 4 oceans all the time. And then when he was flying, the tail also, Ravana was also sticking to his tail. And after reaching back home, the palace, Vali identified Ravana. And Angada was on the cradle. Angada, the child of Vali, was in the cradle. So in order to have a doll for Angada, his son, Ravana was hung on the cradle like a small insect. This is what you call comparing the power of Ravana and the high power of Vali. Vali asked this question. Had you asked Rama this question? Had you told me that Ravana abducted your wife, I would have got your wife very easily. Why did you depend on my younger brother Sugriva, who is incapable of doing? That is. So there are so many ifs and buts in this incident. But one thing I will tell you, just one point before we finish today. A drama has been written by what we call a predecessor to Kalidasa, the greatest poet in Sanskrit. So his name is Bhasa. He wrote 13 dramas. So one of the dramas on Mahabharata, on Ramayana was Abhisheka Natakam. Abhisheka Natakam. So another one was Pratima. Pratima starts with Kaikeyi's Varans and stops with, rather ends with Pattabhishekam of Rama. That is normal. And of course, there are some new original ideas given. And here in Abhisheka Natakam, Vali asks Rama, why did you kill me? Then Rama replied to him, your younger brother made a mistake. We accept. Sugriva made a mistake. And Sugriva surrendered to you. You are an elder brother. You say that Tara has been taken by him as a life partner. And you say my younger brother made a mistake. And you say it is monkey's behavior when wife becomes another's life partner. Then with regard to your attitude, when Sugriva fell at your feet, you did not pardon him. That was my contention to kill you. That was it. Then Vali immediately accepted. In Ramayana, we find that after a lot of arguments between Rama and Vali says, what you did is right. And finally, he requested both Sugriva and Rama to take care of his son Angada later. So that was a request from Vali. Please take care of my son Angada. So he was convinced, Vali was convinced that what Rama did was right. But we are arguing against everybody. That is the position.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.